Guys, here we are, MMA UK News, Stoomboy as always for the MMA UK BJJ show. So we're talking today. Obviously, we're back to jiu-jitsu. We've obviously been talking a lot of MMA. We did kickboxing yesterday with Big Bruiser, Reese Brudenell. So obviously, definitely head over to YouTube. You'll be able to see that. But yeah, back to talking about jiu-jitsu. So obviously, one of my passions, my love. So we're going to be talking today. I did a video, I think it was just before Christmas, and what I done is I picked 6 people from Scotland who I think are going to go and have an unbelievable 2023. So, and one of the guys I mentioned was obviously my teammate Taylor McCann of MNBJJ. Now, Taylor's one of the guys that's been around grappling forever. Obviously, he come up through the wrestling scene, obviously as a kid, got into wrestling very, very young, trained with a lot of, top guys that are out there fighting in UFC, some MMA fighters. So they've went on and progressed throughout their career. So Taylor this year, jiu-jitsu is going to take jiu-jitsu by storm. Anybody that's seen that video I put up the other day with the double leg takedown? Taylor's takedown, I see it all the time in the gym. Do you know what I mean? So this boy is going to fucking run through everybody this year. Everybody's getting killed. Everybody's doing it.
That's the goal anyway. That's the goal anyway.
But yeah, I absolutely love training with Taylor. Love getting some rolls with Taylor as well, as he's definitely got a different style from what I'm used to rolling with. So obviously coming in with that wrestling style. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out for Taylor this year. So Taylor, T-Bone, what's happening, buddy?
How you doing,
mate? I'm good, mate. How's you?
I'm not too bad, man. I set out. It's funny enough. I was saying this to Nico yesterday. I set out a year ago. Remember, I told you the minute I walked in the gym, I was like, "I'm getting on that podcast. I'm getting on it. I'm getting on it. I'm getting on it." You know what I mean? Every time I saw you, when am I getting on? When am I getting on?
Yeah.
And it's just come up. It's just come up from my first year of jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? That's me first year in, and we've made it, man. I feel good, man. 2023 is off to a good start. So I don't think anyone will top it. Do you know what I mean? I gold the ADCC trials. I don't think would top it, but no, I'm happy to be here, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah. Listen, you were always going to be on. We always spoke about it. Do you know what I mean? I'd say I've got a list of people. Do you know what I mean? I want this person on. I want that person on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just about finding the right time to get the person on. And do you know what I mean? Obviously, it started when I made that announcement. I picked 6 people. I think we picked you, Taylor McCann. We picked Blair Hamilton. We looked at Finn Patterson, Mark Smith, Callum Buck, and Patrick Rowan, who are the 6 people that I believe are going to go on and have an unbelievable year. A lot of these guys, all of you guys, have already had fantastic journeys so far. Do you know what I mean? But I think 2020, you guys are going to take off. And as I say this, don't get me wrong, I want everybody in Scotland going out there and just smashing everybody, right? But I think
for sure, mate,
are going to do the business this year.
No, for sure. I'd love that, man. I'd love everyone in Scotland just to be on that level where it's just every match is solid. You know, I guess obviously there's always going to be a king. You know what I mean? You kind of have to have the best guy. But just that way that every match is a challenge for everyone, you know. And then obviously, one point we could just take everybody down south and just scalp them as well, man. That would be the dream, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But obviously, we'll see as it goes. You know what I mean? It's still developing, obviously, and definitely developing at a faster rate than I've experienced with obviously the wrestling side of things, man. So I think not just obviously a big year for the boys you're mentioning, but hopefully I'm hoping anyway a big year for Scottish submission grappling, man. Just getting so many more people involved in it. You know, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for all the new faces that are going to come in.
It's good as well. I mean, you talked about the rise. I mean, it is rising. Grappling is rising at a very, very quick pace. And the reason for that, I mean, especially jiu-jitsu, I mean, you're getting guys coming in with judo backgrounds coming in and running riot. You're getting guys like yourself, wrestlers coming in and absolutely running right. So they're bringing in a different style
Aye,
into jiu-jitsu, and it's now making it more
definitely.
and more interesting. So, and that's why we're seeing like
Aye,
the rise of all the submission only grapple fest. Have been
yep,
doing it for years.
definitely.
You've got
Yeah.
Northern Submission Series, you've got Declan Super Fights, you've got Polaris. I mean, you've got fucking loads of stuff out there. And as I said,
Yeah.
it's making it more interesting, bringing in different styles into what we do in jiu-jitsu.
No, definitely, man. You need it. It's like it's that way that for example, obviously, you know, the first wrestler comes in. You know, I know that when I started jiu-jitsu, that's what it was. You know, it's like, well, for our gym anyway, it was like, oh, there's a wrestler. Are you the wrestler? There's a wrestler, and I was like, surely. No, in my head, I was like, surely it's not that big a deal, you know?
Yeah,
Everyone's like, oh, I need to stay away from you. I was like, and in my head, I was like, surely guys aren't they not even like, I don't want to say bad, but I was like, surely guys aren't they this excited or scared of
yeah,
a wrestler? I was like, surely, you know what I mean? I was like, surely they've got stuff that they can maybe obviously they've got defences or, you know, obviously the jiu-jitsu side, you know, that makes them a little less scared of it. But
yeah,
I was
yeah,
shocked, man. I was shocked, but it takes somebody to come in and disrupt everything, you know,
yeah,
that people think, you know, is right or, you know, should how it should be done, to realise, you know what, we're missing a lot here. And I've
yeah,
noticed that, man. Like, obviously I'm missing tons of jiu-jitsu, you know, it is what it is, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But a lot of guys with jiu-jitsu are missing stand-up, and it's a shame, man, because that's obviously the fight has to go to the ground, and it starts
yeah,
on the feet, you know. And obviously you've got the rule sets, ADCC, where you're getting negatives for sitting down. You know,
yeah,
I've been messing about playing guard, you know, because obviously Marcos professors asked me to, so I'll do everything that he says. But aye, stand up's the exciting part. That's what people want to see. And at the end of the day, stuff like ADCC is for entertainment. You know, it's
yeah,
don't want to say it's the WWE of grappling, but it is. You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
entertainment. People want to
yeah,
see two big roided up guys just smashing into each other and trying to rip each other's limbs off. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, yeah,
if that means not allowing people to sit down and they need to just stay up and suck it up and wrestle, then so be it. You know. Just need to get
yeah.
better at wrestling.
No, yeah, yeah, right. I mean, we saw ADCC Scotland. Obviously, you took part in that, and that was an awesome event. I mean, that was brilliant
No,
because
great event, man. Great event,
it
even
was
though I
all
get
action.
absolute, you know, all action until, aye. We'll try not to talk about it, man.
But things like that.
You know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
things like that.
Oscar's been winning too much, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. But that's the thing. I mean, you
Everybody's talking
see,
about it, man. Aye.
well, you talked about obviously a wrestler coming in. We saw it as well, like a couple of years ago or a few years ago when Michael Love came in with the judo, right? Because obviously
Aye.
Michael Love being obviously a high level judoka, Chris Love as
Mm.
well, and we saw them coming in. And when they came in, it was exactly the same. You know, like, oh, you're the judo guy, you're the judo guy, right? And everybody
Aye.
was terrified to stand up, so everybody would pull guard on them, right?
Aye.
And then, as you said, obviously coming in as a wrestler, everybody's like, oh, you're the wrestler. Because, and again, they're scared to stand up with you because
Aye.
obviously stand up with a wrestler, stand up with a judoka, you know what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? You're going to end up
Aye.
on your ass. So, and that's, you know what I mean. But it takes that to come in, and as you said, to disrupt it, because obviously
Mm-hmm.
jiu-jitsu, what we do, we think is the norm, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, the way jiu-jitsu is evolving, we need to have wrestling, we need to have judo, we
Yeah.
need to have other things that are going to supplement what our jiu-jitsu is.
Oh, definitely. Aye, definitely. Like I said earlier, like it starts on the feet. Do you know what I mean? Like it starts on the feet, and there's a reason it starts on the feet. You know, if it was the case that, you know, people would be getting double guard pulls or two people sitting down, and who wants to watch? Who wants to watch a match where you can, you know, intentionally put yourself on the floor? No,
Yeah,
people want to see, you know, a nice heavy snap down into a blast double. You know what I mean? Mark McQueen stuff. Like that's what people want to see. No one wants
yeah,
to see some guy sitting down and then obviously getting put onto their back, you know, getting obviously like steering wheel pass. Nah, people want to see guy getting picked up, launched over somebody's shoulder, and then the fight happens.
yeah, yeah,
Because with that, the minute they hit the deck, you know, the guy on bottom, it's panic mode. You know,
Yeah.
they start throwing legs. They start, you know, getting obviously anxious and like, oh no, I need to get this guy off, and that's what makes it exciting. You
Yeah.
know, you've
Yeah.
got two guys battling for position. One guy, you know, try to keep himself safe. Other guy, you know, ready to pounce on him, man. So I think I think for me, you need to keep it exciting. Win by any means necessary for sure, but if you can do it in an exciting way, man, you need to. That's how I see it
Yeah.
anyway.
Mark McQueen as
You
well,
know?
just to let everybody know. Mark McQueen, obviously the takedowns and stuff like that. That was Davy Sharp that taught him everything he knows. So a big shout out to David Sharp.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, tell us you then, Taylor. So obviously you got into wrestling at a young age.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talked about obviously. I mean, some of the people that you trained with when you were younger. I
Mhm.
mean, have gone on and I mean, at high levels in MMA and
Yeah.
kind of other sports and stuff like that. I mean, what got you into wrestling at such a young age? So what attracted
Um,
you to wrestling?
it's a funny one because normally people go, oh, I saw it on the TV, or you know, my dad was this, or you know, my mum was this, and they pick it up from either parents or you know, seen it on TV. I wish I had a crazy story like that, but no, it was it was my neighbour. When I used to stay in Neighbouring Hill, obviously needs nuked. We'll say that. But when I used to stay in Neighbouring Hill, my neighbour's grandson did it. And one day, you know, I was hyper. You know me, you know what I mean. I'm hyper. I'm bouncing about. I'm smiling. I'm laughing.
Yeah,
Sometimes hard to keep. I don't want to say in line because you know I stay in line, but it's hard to kind of for me to chill out a bit. So from that, it was like there needs to be something. Tried football, tried all that. You know, wasn't me. I've got two left feet. Might not look that way when I'm moving about in the mat, but I've got two left feet. I kind of kick a ball. And he was like, I'm taking my grandson to wrestling, you know, and I think my mum was going to work or like whatever reason she wasn't going to be in. Take my grandson to wrestling. Do you want to come along? And I was like, wrestling? I was like, what's I sure? Do you know what I mean? Like, bloody 6, 7 year old kid, you know, because I know what wrestling is. I'm thinking WWE. I'm showing up with the DX t-shirt and all that. Do you know what I mean? D Generation X, WWE you know. And no, and then from there, do you know what I mean? It was active. It was aggressive. It was, you know, there was constant movement. It was. I think what I needed. Came home, and if I'm honest with you, you know, the 7, 8 years that I was there went by like that. You know, I wish I could be like. Obviously, I remember competition stuff like that, but it flew in. Do you know what I mean? All the time flew in, and I didn't know if I'd stay for as long as I did, or it was grandson's got to wrestling. Do you want to come with him? And I'm like, why not? You know.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
was, you know, it was just random. It was random, and it just so happened that it fell in with kind of I guess what I needed. I guess personality wise and kind of mentally, you know, as a young kind of hyper kid, you know, I needed something like that.
yeah, yeah,
Something to keep me disciplined. You know what I mean? Something to work for. Obviously, when you're away, and it's like, you know, you're going to school, you're coming home, I can't even remember what I was doing as a way climbing trees. You know what I mean? But having something that you know a few times a week, you know, it's set, you're going, and it gets you into the routine, even from a young age. You know that you've got this. Oh, I kind of go with my mates. I've got this. You know, I've got wrestling, and you know
yeah,
that as you get older, you're like, thank God for all of that. Thank God for a wee bit of structure as a kid. You know, I stuck in at something. You know, and it carries over into obviously early teens and obviously late teens, adult years. So, but I
yeah,
man, just a random stroke of luck, I guess, that I
yeah,
fell into
yeah,
the world of grappling, man. But no, I
yeah.
wish I could be like, oh, saw Jordan Burroughs on the telly and started throwing my mum about you know what I mean, the living room. But no, it was just as simple as take my grandson to wrestling, you coming along,
Yeah.
and here we are now. Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing, even in wrestling. I mean, obviously, you came up through obviously like Scotland, British team, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, wrestled at a very, very high level for the age you were at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was it like competitions, especially being so young, going into a competition? Because anybody that's ever been at a wrestling competition, I even seen it on the TV, it is very, very different to a jiu-jitsu competition. Very
Aye.
different. So, what was it like,
I,
nerves and stuff like that?
Oh, I was terrible, man. I'm still terrible now. Any of the boys in the team, any boys in the team that know me, even to this day, I'm terrible for it, man. But I was but leaving the hotel because it was always down south, so it was hotels. Leaving the hotel for the comp, waiting in the toilet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Getting to the comp, but the survival mode, stomach gone. So I was always nervous. You know what I mean? I was always struggling to keep food in, so I'd say nerves for me anyway. But I'd say the atmosphere's definitely different. It's not as chilled, you know.
yeah,
It's I don't want to say like hostile would be a kind of wrong word, but it's a lot more serious, I guess.
yeah,
You've not got this
yeah,
way where you're chatting. Yeah, I used to, as a kid, I'd be running up and try to find who I'm competing against and get pally with them and all that. But when you get to an adult, everyone knows everybody, you
yeah,
know, and everyone knows who's, I guess, the man. And so everyone's got that serious head on of like, I can't give anything up, can't even crack a smile. That's how I saw it as a kid. But me, I was just running about, man. But I competed last year. And I'd say it's calmed down a bit since I was a kid. You know, it's guys talking
yeah,
to people and enjoying themselves. But no, jiu-jitsu, it's you walk in, it's like, what's happening, mate? Love the shoes, love the hair, how you getting on, hugging people you don't even know, and
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Random guys like, oh, you're that guy, and you're like, aye, sure. You're like, who are you? Do you know what I mean? They're like,
yeah,
mate, I saw this, oh, blah blah blah. When you going to do this? And you're like,
yeah,
mate, you
yeah,
know my whole life. Do you know what I mean? But wrestling, obviously, because I was out for a wee while, wasn't really the same when I went back. You know, but
yeah,
that's what happens. You get older, things change. You know what I mean? Obviously, we need to
yeah.
evolve in that. So,
And
but
that's
no,
some of
man,
the
I'd
things.
say.
But
Oh, sorry, on
but
you go.
I was going to say is obviously in the jiu-jitsu side of things. I mean, we've seen you and and it's always exciting, right? Even from the mullet days, right? Going back to the mullet days,
The
walking down with
mullet
that
days, man.
mullet,
I'm growing it back out. I'm growing it back out.
nice.
It's
But
coming back, man. It's coming back.
even the mullet days, walking in with the Crocs. Do you know what I mean?
All right,
Coming in with the
yeah.
Crocs
Well, aye.
and walking in straight onto the mat, picking somebody up and fucking dropping them. And that was it. Every time you were, and people would all crowd around your mat and be like, oh, here we go, here we go. And you always do it every time, man. Every single match, you're
Aye.
picking somebody up and throwing them. Do you know what I mean? So, or
Aye.
you would always hear, like, I'd be reffing on another mat, and all I would hear is, boom,
Aye.
ooh.
Aye.
And I turn around, and there's you just picked some poor guy up and dropped him. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we want. As
Aye.
you say, it's an entertaining sport. That's what we love
Aye,
to
man.
see. We love to see it.
The, it has to be. I think for the amount of time and dedication and sacrifice that that I've seen people put in. You know, I'd love to say that I put in as much, but as a kid, I'd definitely say I did. But the amount of time and sacrifice and all this stuff that people do, to go into the mat, and leave it all out. That's why I love watching like white belts and stuff. Sometimes I get a bit bored watching black belt matches because they don't give anything up, which
Yeah,
fair enough, rightfully so. But they know that one slight move, and they're getting fucking their arm ripped off. Whereas
yeah,
white belts, blue belts, they go for it, they make it entertaining because they've put a lot in, and it's to see people just let it fly, man, for 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
This is their day. They've had shit times at work. They've had shit days, shit weeks, and then this is their moment to just let it fly, man. Everybody watching, everybody getting excited, cheering their teammates on, knowing how much they've put in. All the guys that you train with, knowing that they've helped you, you've helped them, and just seeing obviously the success and the excitement that comes with that, man. So
yeah.
that's how I see it. I've probably changed my views on it, obviously, since being younger to now. As far as kind of grappling and competing goes, just to mentally, I guess free myself instead of keep myself obviously under all this pressure like I used to, and so
Yeah,
I've tried to change my view on it a little bit. Um,
yeah.
but that's how
That's
I
good.
see it, mate. I don't know how you see it, but that's how I'd like to think I
Do you know, I
see.
was talking
You
about
know,
this. We were at higher level today, and we were talking about as a competition because I was talking to Big Geo, right?
no,
So Big
fucking love
Geo,
Geo,
yeah,
man.
absolute wrecking machine that's Big Geo.
Ah,
And
for sure, for
so
sure.
Geo's going over to the Euros, right? And
Mhm.
we were just talking about like heavyweights, right? Now, a
Yeah,
heavyweight in jiu-jitsu, especially at white belt, tend to be heavy, right?
yeah,
They
for
tend to
sure,
be
for sure.
overweight guys, right? And what they do is they rely on strength more than
Mhm.
technique. Now, even that's a
Yeah.
white belt thing, right? A lot of white belts are guilty of using strength rather than technique. Do you know what I mean? So,
I know.
so
I
Gio,
definitely know I was. I definitely
yeah,
know I was in the beginning.
it,
Yeah.
it happens. It happens, as I said. So Big Gio was saying, and we were talking about other heavyweights that have came before him.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we had things like years ago, we had a guy called Gary Clark, right, who was around probably around about 2012, 13, right? So
Yeah.
then
Right.
we had Big Mo, right? And the Big Mo was, well, Gary Clark was an American football player, right?
All right.
So he
Okay.
used to train, got a scholarship, went over to America, trained and played American football.
Makes
So he
sense.
was a wrecking machine, explosive
Aye.
energy. Do you know what I mean? His movement and stuff like that for a heavyweight
Mhm.
was unbelievable. Then
Yeah.
we moved on. We had Big Mo. Big Mo was a rugby player, professional rugby
All
player,
right.
and came in and destroyed everybody. Also won the Euros, right?
Mhm.
Um, and then with Mark McQueen went over as a white
Oh,
belt, won the Euros.
the goat.
And I don't need to mention too
Goat
much about
McQueen.
Mark McQueen because anybody that doesn't know who Mark McQueen is that's in jiu-jitsu in Scotland, I don't know where the fuck you're training or who you're training with because Mark McQueen, everybody knows Mark McQueen. So I was talking to Gio, I said, look, Gio, these are the heavyweights that came before you, right?
Mm.
I said, now look at you, Gio, you're also a fucking absolute specimen, right?
Yeah, for
So
sure, for sure.
but he was talking about, he said, yeah, that's fine. He said, but the thing is, he's nervous. And I'm like,
Yeah.
right. But
Mhm.
then I was talking about, I said, look, it's normal as a white belt to be nervous, right? See,
Yeah.
once you get in a blue belt, yeah, you're still going to be a bit nervous, but you'll be a bit more
Mhm.
relaxed. Purple belt,
Yeah.
you're there to enjoy it, right? You're enjoying
Mhm.
yourself. You're going out there, you're going to put on a show. You've maybe got a
Mhm.
lot of nerves. Brown belt, probably not much nerves at all. And then by the time you hit
Yeah.
black belt, you're absolutely balling. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Aye.
normal as a white belt. It's normal to be nervous
Mm.
about some stuff. But I was
Yeah.
telling you, the main thing you need to do is just go out there and enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. Win or lose,
Mhm.
it's an experience. Do you know what I mean? So, but
Aye.
he's going to go and fucking murder people over in Paris. Do you know what I mean?
No,
He's literally
no,
going to go
definitely.
to Paris and destroy people.
Aye. I think it depends on the person,
Yeah,
because I feel like you're saying, like in the beginning as a white belt, obviously you're brand new, no one wants to lose,
yeah,
but and obviously yeah, the nerves start to go, but I'd be thinking that's it, and this is just me that as or maybe I'm wrong. You can obviously correct me if you feel, but as you get that kind of higher level, there's a expectation,
yeah,
and with expectations come pressure, and with pressure comes nerves, and obviously so on and so forth. Whereas I feel like at like white belt and blue belt, it's like everything you do wrong is one step closer to being perfect. Do you know what I mean? Like I know
yeah,
for me, that every role I have in the gym, no matter what level it is, every time I fuck up, it's noted. Obviously, when I compete and I do something wrong, it's noted. And
yeah,
I understand that you. Whereas I feel like a black belt, when you fuck up, it's a lot more. There's a lot more risk, if you will.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and I think competing wise, that's a lot of pressure, and I
yeah,
think that
yeah,
I think that yeah. So that's yeah. I guess I agree with both. I think it depends on the person though, because I know
yeah,
people at white belt that don't care in the sense of they go out, they let it fly, and they win, no issues. They don't nerves don't hit them. Guys like Harouge, obviously he's at that level where obviously he's getting onto Grapple Fest. This is purple belt's a big deal. It's an intense environment to be in. Guys
yeah,
chilling. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And he'll be chilling. He'll be chilling from his days, obviously now till obviously his black belt and so on. So I think it goes from person to person. You know,
Yeah.
there's definitely gonna be black belts out there that are like, I am shitting myself, and it's fine. Because I know for me, like obviously I'm not even a blue belt yet, but I know for me that I'm shitting myself until I step on the mat.
Yeah.
Minute ref blows the whistle, all of that background noise, everything is gone, and it's me and this guy.
Yeah.
And Marcus always said it well. That guy's trying to steal my medal. That guy's trying to take everything from me. So the minute I step on the mat, that's what I think.
Yeah.
This guy's here. He's got his mates. He's got his family rooting him on. He hits me with something or whatever. I'm looking like a dick. That is, and I'm not allowing that to happen. I want my boys thinking that. I want my boys cheering me on, and obviously thinking he's a dick. So it's that way of like. I think it just depends. It just depends on the person. Do you know what I mean? You get guys that are white belt that are as confident as Gordon Ryan. You'll get guys at black belt that is, nervous as obviously a small person in a big world. Do you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things, isn't it? They're all different. That's the beauty of it, man. It's like obviously we can all build each other up, and I think that's the main thing. Is if somebody is a little bit nervous, man, just reinforce. You know what I mean? Reinforce the positives of what they're doing, and they've got work-ons. Everyone's got work-ons, but
that's why I love. I love talking to people before the match because I mean, even like let's say like competitions and stuff like that, or submission only, ADCC and so on. I remember talking to all you guys before you all went on. Do you know what I mean? And being like, giving you that motivational pep talk. Look, fucking, you deserve to be here. Of course, you deserve to be here. You're the fucking best. Do you know what I mean? And the one thing I always tell people is, look, see the person that you're about to stand in front of, right? Are they better than a Rouge? Are they better than the people you train with on a daily basis? And the answer is always going to be no, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's when I go into competitions, that's the way I go in thinking in my head. Do you know what I mean?
No,
and that's why
valid, absolutely.
I never get nervous because I'm like, well, this guy's got nothing. Do you know what I mean? I might go, what's the worst is going to happen? He's going to beat me, right? So, but I think the pressure, a lot of the time, and you'll know this through wrestling and stuff like that, a lot of the time the pressure that's put on you is put on you by yourself. Do you know what I mean? So
you're your own worst critic, man. It's like you're always thinking that. What if this happens? What if that happens? All these people are gonna think I'm X, Y, Z, and you step off the mat and people go, "You get them next time," or you know what I mean? You went out, you smashed it, or you know what I mean? You done what you could, and you go, "Oh, so no one actually cares that I lost."
Yeah, no.
And then do you know what I mean? And it's true. No one cares. Everyone's like, that happens, mate. And especially at these lower levels, white and blue belt, you're going to lose. There's always going to be somebody that's sitting borderline. And I know I've had it in comps. Guys that are borderline purple belt.
Yeah.
And then they get the purple belt the next comp, or they get it literally their next training session, and you're like, so I'm basically going up against a purple belt there, and that's the thing. There's always a bigger fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the good thing about jiu-jitsu, obviously you were talking about like smashing people and all that. Like the good thing about jiu-jitsu, you could have a 10-minute sub-only match, right? No get finished, but after it, you can stand up and you can walk about and you can enjoy the rest of your day. Whereas the MMA guys, for example, I heard this on a podcast, right? So I'm stealing it. But MMA guys, for example, if they get battered for 10 minutes, they're struggling to see at their eyes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going home to their wife, their kids, looking like a complete stranger. Whereas the good thing about this sport is people go, unlucky, mate. You can get your work-ons and you can go from there. Whereas there's some sports where it's risky to be the guy getting battered, super risky, and obviously it's definitely one of those things that can get in your head, But the good thing about jiu-jitsu is you can.
Aye, I was going to say we're too handsome for MMA, mate. Me and you're too handsome for MMA.
Oh, for sure. See, that's it.
You don't want to be punching these faces, man.
No, man. I'm. You know what I mean? I don't even know how this. There we go. There. I'm growing a wee tash, man, and you know what I mean. My pubic chin's growing, but no, I'm too pretty, man. Like I was rolling with somebody at the rollathon, and it was one of the girls for Ayrshire Hit Squad, I think, and I was like, talking about MMA, and obviously that's what she does, and I was like, I don't know how you can do it. I'd be shite scared that I'd go from being pretty to not, man. And she's like, oh, how no? And I was just like, fuck it. Absolutely not. I'm not letting my face get smashed in. Do you know what I mean? It's like, especially even in jiu-jitsu, like rolling with guys like Mark, Chris Duncan and all that, and they leather you in jiu-jitsu. I just couldn't imagine, you know what I mean, being the bottom in an MMA fight and just getting hammer fists and everything thrown your way. While you're like, you're like this, where did I go? I'm just getting, you know what I mean? Just getting slapped about, man. I'm alright.
Yeah.
Like, I've had mates or like from high school up until now. Well, I wouldn't say now, but people still ask me if I do MMA. But I had mates and they're like, "Oh, you could be the next Chad Mendes and all that," and I'm like, "Absolutely not." I was like, "I'm not." I'll admit it. I've not even been a fight stum in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not ready to go in and deliberately get my face punched in. Do you know what I mean? It's no. I'm past that, man. It wouldn't happen. I might do a one-off. Do you know what I mean, for like charity or just to be like, I done it. You know what I mean? Just so I can fit in with the MMA guys. But absolutely not. I'm not ready for getting my face smashed in, man. Not today.
What about the wrestling classes then? So obviously you're the wrestling coach for MNBJJ. Obviously do the wrestling classes. So tell us what how did that opportunity come up for you?
Sorry, mate, my phone's on low battery, man. I don't want it cutting out on us. What was that? Sorry.
So how did the opportunity come up for the wrestling classes at MNBJJ?
So I know that obviously in the past I've had wrestling coaches, and obviously there've been ones that maybe haven't done jiu-jitsu or whatever the case may be, and I know that they didn't have a wrestling class for a long time.
Yeah.
And obviously me coming through the door, you know, I've got try to remember it, about 8 or 9 years experience. Obviously I've only been back about a year and a half, you know, wrestling and grappling. I took a long while out. Just mentally done me in, and I caved. You know what I mean? I caved in. But it was like, here, we're looking to get a wrestling class going again. Obviously, why look anywhere else when you've got a guy there that you know. Obviously got the experience doing, obviously developing my jiu-jitsu. So the transition, you know, I'll be able to teach the transitions from wrestling takedowns into jiu-jitsu positions a little bit better than maybe someone that's not got the jiu-jitsu experience. And obviously I was more than happy to take it on. You know, at first I was a wee bit nervous. I was like, oh, teaching my own class, you know, I've never, I'm a PT and that, but being like a coach of something is quite, you know, it's quite a big deal. But I was like, you know what, we'll take it on. Allows me to develop, you know, as a person, obviously as a coach. And in a way, it forces me to get better, and it forces me to, you know, break my bad habits when teaching a technique, you know, because when you need to break things down, you realize what you do right, what you do wrong, you know, what you don't want people, you know, what your students to be doing. But also gets the guys at MNBJJ better stand up, which one is going to help them, you know, take everyone down at comps. But challenge me on the feet, which is nice. You know, I'm teaching these guys everything. Teaching these guys and girls everything I know, which they're going to try use on me, which is great. So only way I'm going to get better. The minute I start slacking off because I'm a better wrestler than everyone, it's the day that I get beat, and I know that for a fact. You know, I can hit a single leg, I can defend a double, blah blah blah. These people ain't got nothing on me. All that starts kicking in. But the minute you start teaching people how to do all that stuff, and they start drilling it, and they get up to close to a level of you, and they start trying to hit it on you, and you realise, oh, I've been slacking off a bit, you know. It's the minute you start getting done in and realise that you know you're slacking off, and you need to get your shit together and start wrestling again. But no, that's how it came about, mate. Just obviously a conversation with Marcos, and he was looking for a wrestling coach, and obviously who else but the Croc man, McCann? Do you know what I mean?
But we're seeing the benefits. We are seeing the benefits as well. I was rolling with a couple of weeks ago, Kerr, right? For example, right? So Kerr, who obviously has been doing the wrestling classes, Kerr and his mum and so on.
For sure,
Mate, he picked me up. But both of us
Yeah.
shot at the same time. I shot for a double leg. He shot for
Uh-huh.
something. And what he done is he got down first, right? And he
Yeah,
double
yeah.
legged me and picked me up and fucking dropped me, man. And I was just like, yes, yes.
Aye. Oh no, see the thing with Kerr as well, man. Like, so obviously before he was coming to the wrestling classes with me, I know that he'd obviously had he was jumping into the grip house once, so he's definitely been working on his wrestling, you know,
Yeah,
with some of the grip house guys, obviously with their session, but
yeah,
no, he's definitely took on board the stuff I've been giving him. You know, me and Kerr obviously a little bit taller. I think I've got like 8 kilo on him. I was gonna say we're similar build. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah,
just short and stocky, and he's actually got a decent build. But you know we're similar, so it's you know we both like an aggressive wrestling style. Um, we love a scrap. You know, I don't know if you've seen times me and Kerr have been rolling. You know, I've not been standing up recently. Obviously, as I said, I've been trying to work on at least a wee bit of having a you know some sort of guard. But the times me and Kerr have rolled and it's been standing up, man, it's been fucking amazing. Just having a
yeah,
guy, you know, aggressive, constantly chasing the legs, constantly chasing things, you know, like that's been forcing me to, you know, turn it up a notch and make sure that I'm refreshing and obviously
yeah,
my wrestling. Because you can get complacent, and I think that was the issue that I had when I was younger. Was I'm winning. Why would I change anything? You know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's true for the most part. But when you're people find holes in your game. People learn. It doesn't take much for someone to learn. You know how to defend a double leg, and before you know it, I can't hit a double on them. And now I'm
yeah,
like, oh, where do I go for here? I'm getting sprawled out, and obviously they're starting to work their game. So it's definitely good. But cares. Fucking he's an athlete, man. You know what I mean? Solid build. Got a good mindset for it. He's
yeah,
physically gifted as well, and he works hard. So I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
surprised he was able to pick you up and fucking leather you, man. But
Oh, mate. See, whenever it happens, that I get. See, whenever anybody, when I'm standing watching somebody double leg, somebody pick them
aye,
up and drop them, I get very excited, right?
aye,
And see when he
oh,
done it
dead
on
was,
me, mate, I was even more excited because I'm like,
aye,
yes, man, this is fucking brilliant. Do you know what I mean? And it
aye,
was so funny because both of us shot at the same time, and
yeah,
had I been maybe half a second quicker, right?
yeah,
And that's all it took, that maybe less than half a second,
yeah, yeah,
right? Then I would have had him, right? And he would have been
aye.
picked up and dropped, right? And
No,
and that's what I
aye,
like about just
okay. Okay,
the timing.
I think if you picked Kerr up, honestly, his feet would still be touching the ground. Stim. Let's be real.
I get him, mate. I get him. Mate, that's my goal, right? I'm going to do that. That's my goal. The next
Aye,
time me
right.
and Kerr go, that's my goal. So, Kerr,
Cool,
if you're watching
cool.
this, man, I'm going to fucking double leg you through the floor. Because Taylor said I can. Taylor said I can. Right? So,
I'm just saying, Stim, man. If you pick him up, it'll be a miracle, man. His feet will still be touching the floor. I can
no, I'll
guarantee
get
it.
him, man.
I can
I'll get
guarantee.
him. I'll
You
get him.
get him? No,
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. But no, it's like you're saying there. Like, there's obviously when me and you have done stand up, or anything really, and I think that's the cool thing about you is you get excited. You get
Yeah. Yeah.
excited for people doing things well and doing things right and getting things on you. You know, you can appreciate it. Whereas obviously, you know, we've all come across the guys that you do something and it's like they just either I don't want to say they definitely don't allow you to do it again, you know,
Yeah.
and they go out their way to make their whole game not letting you do a specific thing. You know what I mean? Whereas you, it's like are they just make it a shit role for you and they're just closing themselves off. They're not going for things because
Yeah.
it opens up this that you'll take and vice versa, you know, and it's but that's the good thing about you, it's like you appreciate it. You've been taken
Yeah.
down, so be it. Do you know what I mean? There's still and that's how you know what I like about jiu-jitsu is the takedown's a takedown. And IBJJF rules is 2 points, but there's still,
Yeah.
you know, a whole different game on the bottom. And that's the good thing
Yeah.
about it is there's more than one way to play the game.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You get a takedown, for example, 5 minute match. You get a takedown 5 seconds in. There's still four
Yeah.
minutes 55 seconds on the floor.
Yeah.
That's all well and good,
100%.
mate. You've got 2 points, but you know, can you handle what's happening on the bottom? And
Yeah.
that's the good thing about you is you appreciate it, and then you get that split second of you try to throw something on. Do you know what I mean? And then you get the laugh back, and you realise, right, this is going to be good. You know what I mean? There's enjoyment here. There's excitement. There's obviously the competitiveness, but it's controlled competitiveness. Which
I love it when somebody, because I'm 100 kilos, right? So see when somebody like, let's say Kerr. Well, what's Kerr? Kerr's what, 70 kilos?
Kerr, no,
76.
Don't do him like that, man. Nah, he's under 80. Under 80.
Aye, so Kerr's under 80. So to pick 100-kilo guy up, right? Because obviously picking a 100-kilo guy up during a grappling match is very different from, let's say, deadlifting 100 kilos or benching 100 kilos. It's very, very different because that's 100 kilos that's pushing forward and putting pressure on you, right? So by the time you lift that 100 kilos up, that might be I don't know, it might feel like 150 kilos, right? So
especially when you're tired,
Yeah, so anybody that's able to get, because obviously me being smaller, to be able to drop a level, to get right underneath me, to then pick me up and drop me, right? Fucking hats off to them, man. Absolutely hats off to them. That's what I love.
I'm going to make this ghetto, mate.
Do you know what I mean? So
I need to go get a charge on that. Give us a no, for sure, but I agree with it though. We need. You know what? Do what I want. Do it in my room, man. Let's do it, Stoom. In the room. But no, I agree with you completely, mate. It's like it's that as well. You know what I mean? There's technical sides to things, and then there's being you know, physically gifted. You know, strong, hard working, all these things that make you a better grappler, and that's the good thing about it. And that's the issue that I found, man. Like, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm more athletic than XYZ. Yeah. Every time I get in this position, I'm getting fucked up. Fucking what's this? Like wee Andrew for Grip House. That boy leathers me.
So this is
honestly.
He's Andrew McNally. Andrew McNally's 14, 13.
Something like that, man. He feels like a grown man when you roll with him, but man, he's fucking
He's got a crazy guard game as well, man. His guard is for a 14-year-old. Now, do you know how he got his guard that good? Him and his sister Katie trained with Shea Montague all through lockdown. Do you know what I mean? So you're talking about Shea Montague, who is arguably probably one of the best guys in jiu-jitsu to come out of Scotland, right?
Have you given him that award yet?
But you know what? We were talking about this today, right? So the award, obviously, the awards went missing, Royal Mail, right?
Oh, did I?
So I got a message yesterday. The awards were in Warrington, right? So I got a message yesterday saying that they've lost them. Right, so it's quite funny because people are saying, "Oh, they'll have them on eBay," and I'm like, "But they won't have them on eBay because it'll be like male grappler of the year, Shea Montague. So unless they're going to another Shea Montague, then it's pointless." So obviously the guy's making a claim. The guy I get the awards from is making a claim, and then I'll just then reorder the awards, and so they'll hopefully be in a. Do you know what I mean? So
all right, okay.
Mate, because of that strike that went on. Do you know what I mean? But it happens. As I say, we'll get the awards. I get money back. I get the awards out, so it's fine. It's fine. For sure. Personal training. So, in regards to that, then, how do people contact you if they want to get you to give them the full body workout?
Jesus, we talked about the same thing here. All right, so you can get me at Instagram, TMFitPT. I work out of JD Gyms Cumbernauld. So for any kind of PT inquiries, shoot me a message there. Obviously, you will have to be a member of JD Cumbernauld. Pain in the arse, I know. But if you're interested in that, obviously hit me up there. And then for online coaching inquiries, the same. Obviously, if you're interested in working with me, but you can't make it to Cumbernauld or whatever the reason may be, I'm also available there, and we can discuss things further on Instagram.
Definitely hit Taylor up, man, because as I say, definitely awesome. Do you know what I mean? Awesome, absolutely brilliant shape as well, man. I mean, Taylor's an absolutely amazing shape. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's that wrestling. It's probably because of me, because obviously me being so handsome and me being in physical,
Aye.
fucking absolute, mate. Absolute.
Still, mate, I'm still chasing it. I know, I'm still chasing you, man. I feel like you know what I mean? I'm still chasing after that Stoomboy bod, man. That
Mate, that'll
Stoom
happen.
bod, man. That's what I'm after.
The Stoom bod, the Stoom
The
bod.
Stoom
That'll
bod,
happen.
man.
Just get married, right? Get married, have a couple of kids, and that's it, mate. The dad bod will come. Do you know what I mean? The dad bod will be there. So,
Nah, man. I've already had my dad bod phase, man, and I'm fucking, as far as I'm aware, I'm never going back, man. That's 112. What was it? About 2 years ago, it was 112 kilo, which I think's like
yeah, yeah,
what, like 19 stone or something like that, something crazy like that.
yeah.
In the minutes, nah, I've been grinding hard to get that away, man. In the minute I saw a wee bit of average, you know what I mean? I've been riding it, man. Do you know what I mean? Been
Yeah,
posting
yeah.
that photo everywhere. I'm like, look at this, look, lean. In 2 weeks' time, I won't look like this. But you know, this was me at one point.
Nah,
But
but
no,
you've done
man,
brilliant.
nah,
You've done
you
brilliant.
can't. No, thank you, mate. But as well, it's the good thing about being in this sport as well. It forces me to be in shape. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
obviously, as much as obviously I'm a PT myself. I've been working with obviously with Big Mark. Just making sure I've got a guy in my corner that's been there, is still doing it. You know, he's a guy that I can rely on for feedback and definitely good programming. And that's the thing as well, man. It's been good, and you know, I've been saying it. It started off as a wee bit of a joke, but I just sometimes when I'm a little bit, you know, off or whatever the case may be, I just ask myself, do you know what I mean? What would Mark McQueen do? You know, and it's true. It's not often, and you see these people. Do you know what I mean? You see them either whether it be Instagram or YouTube, whatever. These guys that are, you know what I mean, grinding
yeah,
hard, and they almost seem like characters for a movie and that. But see, you have a guy like that on your doorstep. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? A guy that works hard. You know what I mean? He never misses a training session. He obviously keeps up with his food. He's training every day. He's grinding it out. He's fucking and he's winning. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? What else could you
yeah.
ask for with all that hard work? Do you know what I mean? And obviously having that guy in your corner, as well as obviously the other guys in my corner, Marco, Sharpie, obviously all the boys that I train with. Do you know what I mean? Having these guys in my corner has been fucking excellent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been brilliant, man. And my wrestling coach, my wrestling coaches, obviously growing up and present. Do you know what I mean? They've done a lot, and gonna take this opportunity, Stum, to call out Finlay Marshall. Because that guy needs to be competing. Do you know what I mean? He's too good.
Yeah.
20 plus years wrestling. He's been grinding out jiu-jitsu. He's a shite bag and won't compete. So I'm using this opportunity to call him out and get him competing. I know he's got one of the power grappling ones coming up. So
Yeah,
it'd be really good. Be really good to see. Really good to see that. Obviously, he's competed against the likes of Mike Grundy and stuff. Obviously, with wrestling.
yeah.
So you know what I mean. He's about it, which I'd love to see. So calling him out the now, just so that he sees this, because I know he will, and get him competing. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he's excellent, man. Anyone that knows Finn, the guys that hit squad, obviously Marcos, his Likens and all that know Finn, know that the
Yeah.
man means business when it comes to grappling, man. So that's if I can get anything out of 2023, man, it'd be fucking seeing him compete. You know what I mean? Seeing it in
Yeah.
person, because I've felt it myself, but seeing him, man, me having a successful year and fucking that old geezer competing, man. He's not even old, man. He's like early 30s, man, but he's you know what I mean? Soon it'll be too late. Do you know what I mean? Soon it'll be
We've got
too
a quick
late.
comment coming in. Dr. Mash. I don't know who Dr. Mash is. I don't know if you know who Dr. Mash is. Just saying Taylor's the man. So,
I appreciate you. I don't no idea who that could be. No idea. Doctor what? Dr. Mash?
Dr. Mash, aye. So,
Dr. Mash.
So,
jeez, man.
Dr. Mash.
Totties, man. Dr. Mash. Fuck's sake, man.
And then, what about you then? Final thing then, Taylor. So obviously, again, you've been around forever, right? Since obviously you mentioned
Come on.
7-year-old. No, but you've been
Aye.
around in grappling since
Aye.
long before
I've been
most of
around.
these people.
Aye.
So,
Yeah, not for sure.
you've had some amazing training partners, past and present.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So anybody you want to shout out to? Anybody you want to say hello to?
Oh God, man.
Friends, family members, teammates.
Friends, family members, teammates. My mum for sure. Obviously, I'll be honest, you know what I mean? All the years wrestling, I was like, oh fuck this, I'm quitting. You know what I mean? Even when I was in the GB development squad, and I was like, I'm quitting. She's not, you know, she was always in my corner, keeping me on. You know what I mean? You're not quitting. You'd be getting up too much. So I definitely say her as far as that goes. All the boys at Marcos's, obviously Nico, Big Ross, the white belt king, still got his white belt. Obviously, just all the boys, you know what I mean? Big Kenny has, Gav McQueen, Mark. There's too many, obviously, Professor Marcos, wrestling coach Finn. Just all the boys, they know who they are, do you know what I mean? I keep in contact with them, and any chance I can get to praise them or anything, I always give them it. Even if they don't want that praise, I make sure they get it, do you know what I mean? Because they deserve it, you know. We're all on the same path, man. We're all helping each other out, so any chance I can let these boys know that I've got them and they've got me, you know what I mean? It's good, man. But no, and you as well, mate. You as well. Get me on the pod there. Get me on the. Is this a podcast? I don't even know what this is, mate.
This is live at the moment, mate. So,
live, man. Live. But no, just you as well, mate. You know what I mean? Giving people the opportunity. Do you know what I mean? You know, putting them out there, especially with never had that in wrestling really. Never really had it. You know what I mean? There wasn't much exposure. You know what I mean? And it's good to have it. And then and if anyone's seen this and you want to sponsor me so I can compete, I'd really appreciate it. And obviously any invitationals or anything like that. Obviously if you want some exciting stuff, some exciting wrestling, exciting stand up, a scrap, then I'd be more than happy to sign up. If you've got a sign up sheet, or obviously an invite would be excellent from you. But mate, that's it, man. That is it.
That's one thing. I mean, anybody. Now, I get to see Taylor all the time in the gym. I get to see him at competitions and stuff like that. In competitions, I have never seen Taylor in a boring matchup. I don't think it's ever happened.
Even that one with Oscar, man, where I get my fucking back taken like a bitch and wrecked, like that one was still exciting.
Oh yeah, that's exciting.
Mate, that's what I want, man. That's what I want. You know what I mean? Win or lose, man. As long as I go out there and fucking let it fly and no coming off that mat, I fucking gave myself the kick up the arse I needed, and I fucking made sure that guy across from me, you know what I mean, had his work cut out for him, man. And I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? Winning's the goal, of course, but obviously it's no through. You know, as long as I don't lose through lack of trying, man, then fucking I can live with that. Do you know what I mean?
2023 is going to be massive.
I'm excited for it, mate. I'm excited for it, man.
It's going to be an amazing year. As I said, I picked that 6 people. Do you mean I could have picked another 6? I could have picked fucking 30, 40, 50 people, right?
Aye.
But
you could have got me to fuck for sure. Do you know what I mean? You could have picked anyone near me, but
no, but see, I see this in the gym every day. I see you rolling. Do you know what I mean? I've rolled with you. Do you know what I mean? I've seen you in competitions. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, there's going to be competition where you're going to go in, and do you know what I mean? Let's say you do get beat, but then that's that adjustment you make, and it'll never happen again, as we keep saying.
For sure, mate.
You're never going to get beat the same twice in a row, 3 times in a row. Do you know what I mean? So that would never happen.
And if you're just fucking wasting your time, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So 2023, Taylor McCann, T-Bone, the Croc man.
T-Bone steak, the Croc man.
So he's coming. He's definitely coming. So going to be another amazing year for MNBJJ.
MNBJJ. Mate.
Some of the top grapplers across Scotland at the moment. So so Taylor, that's an absolute pleasure, buddy. Thank you very much.
Mate, it's been brilliant. No, thank you, mate. I know for sure, mate. If I can give my time for anybody, man. Do you know what I mean? But no, just appreciating you, man. Just fucking put me on the map. I wanted to stay a wee bit low down. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm going to have, you know what I mean, people fucking want my heat, but that is what it is. You know what I mean? We can only get better for here. We can only get better for here. But no, mate, I appreciate you a lot. Do you know what I mean? And Dr. Marsh as well, man. Some guy.
Dr. Marsh.
Appreciate you too, man.
Must I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
I'll catch you in the gym during the week, buddy. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, my man.
Sure.
Take it easy, buddy. Thank you again.
Same with you, mate. I'll catch you after. Where's my thumb? There it is, there, man. I'll catch you after. Love you, mate. Love you.